guys, Matt Robinson here again. Welcome to my most recent Facebook Live video. For those of you who don't know me, I am the founder of the Professional Investors Guild. I want to thank all of you that are joining us here on Facebook and of course those that are watching this video on YouTube. We've had a bunch of new subscribers on YouTube, so thanks for coming aboard. Hopefully we'll be able to provide you some good content and some great lessons to teach you about the world of creative real estate investing. Just a shout out to a couple of our newest subscribers, Rob Ringlehand and Occasional Designs. Great to have you guys on board with us again. So today I want to answer a question that I received. Sometimes I'll do these little Ask the Pig videos. I get questions all the time from members, and as I answer those questions, sometimes I'm a little surprised because I've been doing this for so long. Sometimes I forget that there's certain terminology and certain things that I didn't realize that not everybody knew. And so I recently got a question from one of our members, and they asked me, what is a turnkey property? So I'm going to answer that question here in just a second and tell you how you can profit from turnkey properties. But if this is your first time joining us here, I would just recommend you go and subscribe to us if you're on YouTube. And if you want to join our newsletter and get a couple of really great free gifts, go to pigfreegift.com right now, put your email in there, and we will send those out to you. But back to the question. The question was, what is a turnkey property and how do you profit from them? So anyway, again, this is one of those things that after been doing this for 15 years, turnkey to me is just kind of common language, but sometimes I forget that those that are new may not completely understand it, even if they have kind of a basic understanding of it. So basically, a turnkey property is anything that is fixed up, all done. Sometimes in the retail world, you'll hear them say move-in ready, but that's what a turnkey property is. Basically, that terminology means you can just turn the key and everything's ready for you. Everything's done. So it doesn't require rehab, renovation, nothing's got to be fixed. The property is ready to go. Now, mistake number one that investors make a lot is that they don't think that there's any room to get a great deal on a house that's all fixed up. Because after all, if it's retail ready and the seller could just put it on the market, why would they sell you that house super cheap? Well, I can tell you the reason why is because sometimes people get distressed, and sometimes new investors get confused over the fact that there are two different types of distress. There are distressed properties, and then there are distressed sellers. And oftentimes, what we're used to is that you'll have a distressed property combined with a distressed seller, and you can get a great deal. But other times, you'll have a property that is, again, turnkey. It's in perfect shape. There's nothing wrong with it. And yet, for whatever reason, something has happened, and the seller, not the property, but the seller is distressed. I bought a house probably, I don't know, it was maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. I partnered with a guy, one of our members out in Destin, and we received a lead from a young lady whose father had passed away and left this house to her, and she was ready to get rid of it. She sold it to us for $50,000. Now listen, I went in there and I spent $100 on the house. All we did was put some fresh mulch around the flower bed. The rest of the house was basically in perfect shape. She sold it to us for $50, and 1 day later we listed it on the MLS and sold it for $79. So again, I tell you that story to encourage you. Don't have these preconceived notions that when you first get a call from a seller and they have a house that they say doesn't need any work, that doesn't necessarily that a deal can't be had, because if you can find their motivation point, you still may be able to negotiate something good for yourself. So now let me just paint a few pictures here, because there's a few different ways that you can profit from turnkey properties. I won't be able to get into all of them now, but we will do a pig meeting here upcoming pretty soon. I'll do a webinar or something where you guys will be able to hear some more strategies that you can use on turnkey properties. But let me just give you a few on this video because we don't have a ton of time. First of all is wholesaling to a retail buyer. Now that's a whole pool of buyers that many wholesalers leave out and forget about because they don't think it's something you can do. Listen, cash buyers make up 30% of all buyers across all spectrums. And if you start targeting certain properties or certain areas where maybe older buyers are more typically buying there, where more baby boomers are moving to, areas of the state or areas of the neighborhood where more older buyers are buying, or into the condo market. Here we in Pensacola, we have members in Destin and other areas that live near condos, and many of those buyers are all cash buyers, 50% and higher. So if you're in an area or a demographic or a certain type of property that has a lot of cash buyers, don't forget the opportunity to sell retail as a wholesaler. Because if they're not getting a traditional loan, you can still easily not only make an assignment fee, but make a much higher assignment fee than normal by working with those cash buyers. A lot of times you'll see people put up the little chloroplast signs around town. Just put cash only. You can list it on the MLS as an assignment and put cash only. You'd be surprised at how many retail buyers there are out there that are able to pay cash. Number two, this goes back to the whole, I always encourage new investors to get their real estate license. If you're a member, go back and listen to my message, the workshop that we did called Gatekeepers, when I talked about the fact that it's great to have your real estate license. Number two way to profit, and I've done this numerous times, is get a referral fee from an active agent. So if you find a deal, it's a great shape, they're not willing to negotiate much on the price, so you don't see much wholesale opportunity, you don't see much opportunity to do what the next strategy is I'm about to tell you, then you can refer it to an agent who's able to list it on the market and sell it and give you oftentimes a 25 to 30% referral fee. Again, another reason why you should have your real estate license if you are an investor. And the third one, probably the one I like the most and the one I would be the most excited about, the third and best strategy for dealing with pretty houses, nice houses, turnkey houses, is either getting them on subject to, buying subject to, or owner financing if they own it free and clear, either one, and then turning around and reselling on lease option. I've done that numerous times. It's one of my favorite strategies. You're able to make some upfront money, you're able to make some monthly cash flow, you're able to turn around and sell it for a large profit, and yet you don't have many of the risks that you would have in a normal real estate transaction because of this favorable financing that you've been able to negotiate. So that's a favorite strategy. But not only that, don't forget, not only could you do that, but you can also turn around and wholesale that. So if you come up with a strategy where you're able to find some of these pretty houses and negotiate great financing terms or a great owner finance or subject to terms, and then you find a lease option tenant to go into it, man, you've got a package that is really easy to resell to another investor. Already built-in cash flow, built-in tenant, built-in profit. You can turn around and wholesale that deal just the same way you could some junker that's fallen apart that you think somebody's going to want to fix up. So again, turnkey property, it's ready to go, but don't think there aren't opportunities there to make big money. I gave you 3 strategies there, and I'll be coming back with a pig meeting here shortly where I'm going to be telling you about a bunch more strategies you can use on pretty houses. Don't think that there aren't some possibilities there, and don't think that there aren't some sellers that are distressed and will sell way below market value even if that house is in great shape. So anyway, thanks for joining us. That ends this version of Ask the Pig. Again, if you're not a member of our newsletter, go ahead and jump on pigfreegift.com and join that. Until next time, we'll see you later. Go out and make some money.